Opportunity is often lost in deliberation. So now is the time. Get moving. Get doing something that is better for your body. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. This is where you do it your way. Nobody's around you seeing what you're doing. You can totally do it your way. Dress however you want. Have your water nearby. And just be at peace. Do what you like. Do what works for you. If it doesn't work, don't do it. Just try a little bit, but if it doesn't work, let it go. It doesn't matter. The biggest thing is the bottom of the screen says, do what is right for your body, your one and only unique body. Don't hurt it. You only got one of them. Take care of it. Take care of it and listen to it. If something doesn't seem right, don't do it. Back out of it. Pain is never good. Discomfort, you can work through, but pain, if something is painful, don't do it at all. Modify it, take it to a lesser percentage. You decide. Today's practice is our mostly seated practice. I got it. It is mostly seated. So we're going to be down on our mats. We have a little bit of balancing that I want to do that I'm going to throw in, but there's modifications if you don't want to do it. We're going to talk you through staying down on your mat. So get down here, get into the space that is comfortable for you, that is safe for you, and plan on being here for an hour. And if that hour just doesn't work, 10 minutes is fine too. Cut yourself some slack. The word to think about as you practice today is this. It's gentleness. So it's one of the fruit of the Spirit. Gentleness as it applies to others. Think of being kind. Think of being kind to others, but think of being kind to the reflection in the mirror, to you. Be kind to yourself and let your yoga be kind to you. Think of the words mild, moderate, and gradual. Be kind. All right, so we're going to use our props. A couple of blocks, a yoga eye shade, or a little hand towel, a strap, and some water. The usual stuff. If you don't have any of those, don't sweat it. Just come to your mat and let's go. All right, lock in a stress number. Piper, you're going to have to move. Lock in a stress number in your mind as we come down to our mat and take a pentacle pose. But grab your towel as you're getting here. Grab your towel and bring it up by your shoulders. Okay, stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. Let's come on down. Lock in that number. Give it a number, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, give it a number and remember it. All right, I'm gonna come to fully recline. Heels are at the edges of the mat. You've got your towel here, maybe cover your eyes. We're gonna use the towel for something else in a bit. But just cover the eyes, block out the world, come into a capital letter X shape. All right, so that's lifting your arms up, spreading your legs, so your body looks like the letter X. All right, pinky toes fall toward the edges of the mat. You're thinking right now, oh, this is yoga. I kind of like it. It feels good. Just let it be. Take a deep breath in through your nose and a big sigh out through your mouth. Let it go, let it go, let it go. I don't know how your shoulders feel. My left shoulder sometimes bothers me. So maybe bring it down a little bit if it doesn't feel so good. Maybe put a bend in your elbows if it doesn't feel so good. You know what you need. You know what feels good. Let the yoga work for you. Don't you strive to get into a pose. Breathe. All right, so you're in this letter X shape. So if someone were to look down on you, you could look like the big letter X. Circle your ankles in a direction, and then circle the ankles in the other direction. Maybe bring your feet to stillness, draw your toes up toward your shins, and feel your calf plug into the mat. Then point your toes on down, feel that all the way up into your hips. So point and flex your toes. Bring your feet to stillness in kind of a natural position. Squeeze your toes toward the sole of your foot. And while you're at it, squeeze your hands, your fingers towards your palm as you squeeze your hands into a fist. Hold it tight here. Ooh, you can feel it. Even your glutes tighten up here. Tightness in the shoulders, tightness in the neck, tightness in all the legs, all the way up. Feel the tightness radiate through the body, and then let it go. Soften, let it go. That feels so good. Let's do it again. So squeeze your hands into fists, tighten your toes toward the soles of your foot. Nice tight squeeze. Try to squeeze everything so it feels really tight, like you're in a plank pose, like everything is really super tight, holding on. And the beauty of holding on is then letting go. Breathe in, breathe out. This is your pentacle pose. This is your yoga. You're doing it your way. You can stay here in pentacle pose the entire practice. I'm going to start to snow angel my arms, bringing them on down so my pinkies kind of come toward my hips. Then I'm going to sweep them on up. So just getting a little bit of movement going in the shoulders. And when you're ready, let the arms go all the way up. How does that feel? I don't know how it feels in you. Pay attention to your body. Bring the palms to touch. Let your thumb cross over the other thumb. Stretch and reach through your fingertips, and then bring your legs together at the midline. This is called a stick pose. In your stick pose, you look like a number 1 or the capital letter I. Stretch. Point your toes to the bottom of the mat. Try to get a little more length here. Point your toes to the bottom of the mat. Reach your fingers to the top of the mat. Stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go. And remember, the modifications are good. If you have to bend your elbows, that's good. It's no big deal. Breathe. Let's do the pose that we know called Banana Asana. Silly name, but again, if someone were looking down from above, they would see your body kind of curved in the shape of a banana. All right, so work your heels to the bottom right corner of your mat, and then work your fingertips to the top right corner of your mat. So you look like the slight little curve of a banana. And some bananas are curved more than others. It doesn't matter how curved it is. What matters here is your form. So let your left shoulder stay down and let your left hip stay down. The tendency is to let both of those pop up as you try to increase the curve, but you're not helping yourself there. Keep the hip down and keep the left shoulder down, and feel the big stretch up the left side of your body. Maybe you can reach your fingers a little bit more to the top. Maybe you can bring your heels a little more to the right. And then work everything back to the midline. So you're just getting some lateral flexion in your spine here. When you're at the midline, just lengthen up, kind of reset, recharge, get back to the beginning. And then we'll do the same on the opposite side. Work your heels to the bottom left corner. Work your arms to the top left corner. Keeping your heels, your hip, your right shoulder down. So imagine space and length all up the right side of your body. Breathe in, breathe out. And then slowly bring it back to the midline. All right, so let's do a reclined You Will Look Taller. We do that standing often. Let's do it reclined. You can do a lot of things reclined, so don't ever think that you gotta stay standing. Think creatively, modify your poses. So my legs are together. I'm gonna work my arms apart. I'm gonna bring my body into, if someone were looking down on me, into the shape of a letter Y. Arms are lifted overhead for the word You. Begins with the letter Y. Now let's bring the elbows down, drag the elbows down. Try to keep your hands down. That's kind of a challenge. Try to keep your hands down as you drag your elbows down, creating like the shape of the letter W with your arms. You will. All right, let's do L for look. Bring both elbows in towards your waist and have both forearms parallel to the top of your mat with the arms, the hands down on the ground. 2 L's, forward and backward. You will look. Now tee out your arms. Press the backs of your hands into your mat. Feel your chest lift a little bit up. Let's do it again. Big letter Y. Big letter W. 2 L's, forward and back. T for taller. Nice job. You will look taller. Nice posture there. All right, let's find that towel. Did you bring it up near your shoulders? I hope so. If not, that's all right. No big deal. You can either get up and get it, or we can do it without. Bend your right knee. Hug your right knee toward your chest. This is where the towel comes in handy. Maybe slip the right towel under your right knee. Keep your left leg long. Hug the knee in. If you don't have the towel, interlace your fingers and hug the knee in. Always a nice opportunity to circle the ankles. Do that. And then release the leg long onto the mat. Plug the calf into the mat by drawing your toes towards your shin. Remember we did this earlier. We pointed and flexed. When you flex the toes, you can put your calf down on the mat. Drag the left heel up. Using the towel, hug the knee in. Or interlaced fingers, hug the knee in. Hug it in, your arms are strong. Hold it here, circle the ankle, move the ankle. Release the left leg long. Bend both knees, bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. Tee out your arms, palms face up. Walk your heel toe toward the edges of your mat. And then let the knees, both knees, drop to the right. And then lift them up as you inhale and let them drop to the left as you exhale. So up and down, knees go right and left. Add in a little twist of the upper body by adding your neck. So you got the legs going. When the knees fall to the right, let your gaze go to the left. So your gaze is going in the opposite direction of your knees. So your gaze goes back up to the sky when your knees come up to the sky. Then as you exhale and the knees fall to one side, you're going to look to the other side. So this is your little reclined deer pose. Let it feel nice on your low back and just kind of work in the neck too, getting some movement going there. All right, so there you go, little reclined deer pose. Let's bring the feet back to the midline of the body. Let your arms float on down, and let's take a child's pose. Any way you want to get there. Maybe just roll on over and take a child's pose. So I'm going to find my 2 blocks. I'm going to find 1 block. I'm going to bring it under my chest or my forehead. Decide what you like. Your knees can be together, your big toes can be touching, and you can bring your hips back to your heels. You can rest your head on your block, or maybe it's more like your chest on the block. Just kind of feel rested. Let the ground come up to you by using this block. If knees and toes are together, bring your arms down by your sides, palms face up, lengthen through your spine. And find rest in your child's pose. Rest for your busy mind. Options are to have no block underneath your head. You could scoot the block up to the top of your mat, and I'll address that in a minute. You could spread your knees wide and take a wide-legged child's pose, sinking your hips still back to your heels. Block can be under your forehead or no block at all. What I'm going to do with the block today is I'm going to work it closer. I'm going to bring my elbows onto it. I'm going to rest my elbows on the block, or if that's a little tight, maybe use both blocks. Elbows on the blocks, hands into a prayer position, touching behind the head. And I'm going to let my head sink kind of between these 2 blocks. And I'm just going to find peace here. I don't know if you like how that feels in your shoulders. If you don't like it, the caveat, let it go. Don't do it if it doesn't feel right, if it's not speaking to you today. Breathe in, breathe out. This is your moment. Don't worry about what you got to do today or what happened yesterday. Just be at peace in this pose for a few moments. Breathe in, breathe out. Big breaths in through the nose. A couple sighs out through the mouth. This is a big stretch for the shoulders. And if you don't like it, come out of it. And if you've got even smaller blocks, shorter blocks, the kind of half-size blocks, maybe you'd like that. Or maybe no blocks at all. Just take the pose the way that feels best for you right now. Don't rush into it. Just let it be. Now focus on your breath. The best way to do that is to close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose for Ujjayi Pranayama breath. If that doesn't work for you, don't do it. Just breathe deeply. You can stay in any pose you like. Maybe you really liked that pentacle pose we started in. Maybe you want to stay in a classic child's pose. Whatever feels good in your body right now, take it. So the idea here is to let your spine lengthen. That's why it's the crown of the head reaching toward the front of the room and the forehead on the mat. I'm really getting into the shoulders on these blocks, but my knees in any of the variations and the quadriceps and the ankles are getting a nice stretch here. You could always put a towel under your knees if that feels better. And all you gotta do is breathe. Let the outside world go. Stay here longer if you like. I'm going to come out of this pose. I'm going to press up off of my blocks. I'm going to come on up to a seated position. I'm going to work on my neck a little bit. All right, so sit however you like. I'm going to sit in a thunderbolt pose. That's sitting back on the heels. Maybe you like that, or maybe you want to sit with a block between your legs. That feels a little kinder and gentler. You decide what you think. All right, so seated here, let's work on the neck a little bit. All right, so I'm going to sit. I'm going to remove the block. I'm going to sit here, use the block if you like, have your towel nearby. All right, so you're going to sit here, take your hands to prayer center, take a deep breath in, tell yourself something positive. Whenever your hands come into this prayer position, be grateful, be thankful, and tell yourself something positive about you. Nobody hears, nobody knows. Say something really good, really good. I am wonderful. I am terrific. I am the best. I am strong. I am flexible. I am growing. I am improving. Whatever it is. Tell yourself that. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Give yourself a pat on the back. Lift one arm. I'll talk you through it so you don't have to open your eyes if you don't want to. Close your eyes, focus inward, or open your eyes if that feels better. So with the eyes closed, lift your left arm up to the sky. So you're going to bring that bicep kind of close to your ear. Bend that arm and give yourself a pat on the back. You can take the other hand and hug the elbow in toward your head, and then give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve a pat on the back. Release the arm, let it go. Lift the other arm, lift the right arm up to the sky. Bend the right arm. Using the left arm, hug the elbow in a little bit and give yourself a pat on the back. Just a little pat. Use that left hand. Hug the elbow in. Feel the nice stretch in the arm there. All right, after you've given yourself a pat on the back, release your arms on down. Bring them back to prayer center. Remember your mantra. Say it. Deep breath in and deep breath out. You can keep your hands in prayer. You can put your hands on your thighs, whichever is better. Turn your head from right to left. That's it. Just turn your head right to left. And you know how far you can take it. You know how your neck is. If it hurts or it's not right, don't do it. If the eye's closed, whoo, it makes you dizzy or loopy or whatever, don't close the eyes. But maybe try to half close the eyes. Kind of look through your eyelashes as you look right, look left. Bring your head back to the midline. Circle your head around on your shoulders. And again, same thing. If that doesn't feel right, if that doesn't feel good, taking it in both directions. If it doesn't feel right, doesn't feel good, just lengthen up through your neck. Find space in your neck. You need the space to be able to move the neck, to turn it. So cut yourself some slack. If the neck circles today aren't cutting it, no big deal. Lengthen up. When you're ready, come back to the midline of your body. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Find your towel. We're going to floss your shoulders. All right, so think like dental floss. You can use your strap if you want or your towel. Everybody's got a towel, so we'll use this. And as you're doing this, just for a moment, think today about what you're thankful for. And there's always something to be thankful for. Don't focus on the negative, focus on the positive. Remember that pat on the back? We're gonna hug one elbow in, we're gonna take the other hand. Can you see this? And then I'm gonna grab the towel and I'm gonna floss my shoulders here, like dental floss. Thinking about what you're thankful for. Maybe it's shoulder mobility. Maybe it's the fact you're down on your mat. Maybe it's the fact you woke up this morning. There's always something to be thankful for. All right. So I'm going to pull this towel really hard. I'm going to pull it. The upper arm's going to pull it up. Lower arm's going to pull it down. I'm going to make it hard to floss. There you go. Nice work. Nice shoulder mobility. Let's finish. Release the towel. Bring it to the other side. The other arm's going to bend the elbow up toward the sky. I'm going to take the other arm, reach around and find that towel and start to floss your shoulders. Just move the towel a little bit in between the shoulder blades. And then pull, pull, pull. Make it strong. Pull the towel down. Really feel the tricep in the arm that is lifted. Pull, pull, pull. And then do the other side. Pull it up. And let that lower arm bend. Nice job flossing the shoulders. That's good shoulder mobility. That's hard. A lot of people lose shoulder mobility, and the thing is, you lose it gradually a lot of times, most of the time. So keep at it. Be kind, be gentle with yourself. Moderate, gradual movements will keep you moving. All right, so we did that. All right, so we're still seated in our Thunderbolt pose. Let's take our one arm, let's lift the left arm up to the sky, bend it, touch the top of the right ear, and then just encourage your head to the left side. All right, you're thinking about what you're thankful for. Now here's another question. Think about what good you can do today. What's something good you can do today? It's always good to do good, right? All right, the right shoulder is soft. I'm feeling a big stretch in that side of my neck. Release the hand, gently release the head back to a natural midline position. Let that arm float down. Lift your right arm up, bend the right elbow, bring it on top of your left ear, and then encourage the right ear to the right shoulder while the left shoulder relaxes. Breathe in, breathe out. You got it. Oh, let it feel good. Just be in the moment. Feel what you feel. Appreciate your neck mobility. Slowly release your hand. Bring your head back to the midline of your body. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Let it go. All right, time for cat-cow. Work on the spine. Okay, neck feels nice and loose. Maybe your cat-cow is going to feel a little different today. Come to a neutral tabletop. Shoulders over wrists, knees under hips. Press into your hands, press into the tops of your feet. Your back is nice and flat, lengthen through the crown of your head and your tailbone. Exhale, cat pose, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky like a Halloween cat. Inhale, cow pose, crown of your head and your tailbone lift. So back and forth a couple times, curving your spine into the shape of a letter C. This is how I remember this one, cat and then cow. Breathe. Let it feel good. Exhale, cat. Oh, it's so good for your spine. You know, can you tuck your tailbone a little more? Can you tuck your chin a little more to your chest? Inhale, cow, tailbone lifts, crown of your head lifts. Nice work. That's your cat-cow for today. All right, you can keep up with it if you want to, but I am going to extend the right leg long, plant the ball of the foot on the mat. I'm going to press the ball of the foot into the mat, and I'm going to keep my hips equidistant to the mat. I'm going to press into my hands. Oh, I'm going to press hard into my hands, and I'm going to feel the nice stretch up my calf. Now I'm going to take that right leg that's extended and just lift it up, float it up off of the ground, and I feel the compression in my low back. I'm going to cross the right leg over the left. I'm going to squeeze in my upper inner thighs, push into the earth, look to the left side of your mat, look to the left side of your room, look back to your foot, maybe to your knee, maybe to your bottom. Nice big stretch up this right side. It's a lateral flexion, sideways movement of your spine. The right leg, keep it long, but sweep it around. Keep it on the ground. Bring it around to about hip height or whatever feels right for you. Find that hip mobility. Take the right arm, lift it up to the sky, and then look up to your right hand. Really try to look up. We're back to the neck again. And then plant the right hand. Bring the right knee back to meet the left. Other side. Left leg extends. Ball of the foot on the mat. Push into the ball of the foot. Push into the hands. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Let it feel super good. The stretches feel nice. Ask your dog or your cat. They stretch a lot. All right, lift the left leg up. Bring it around, squeeze high in the upper inner thighs, plant the ball of the foot, look to the right, to the right, to the right, as far as you can go, as far as feels right. Look back to your knee, maybe look to your bottom. Sweep the left leg around, bring it to about hip height, press into the earth, stay strong. You'll keep your balance better if you really keep a strong push into the earth. Lift your left arm up to the sky, look up to your left hand, nice twist. Your whole chest is looking to that left side of your room. Can your chest look? No, your chest is facing the left side of the room. Look up to your fingers, finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down, cat, cow to even all of this out. Tuck your chin to your chest. And your tailbone lifts for your cow. So keep it up. Maybe you're just stuck with doing cat-cow the whole time. Totally fine. All right. Come down to your forearms. Forearms parallel to the sides of your mat. Come on down to your belly. Tops of your feet are pressed into your mat. Take a Sphinx pose. Shoulders are over your elbows. Lengthen up and gaze slightly forward, a little bit down your nose, but forward. Here is your Sphinx pose. Feel the compression in your low back. Feels kind of like how it feels when you're doing that cow pose, right? So think of the front of your hips lengthening. Think of your chest going forward and feel the compression in your low back. Nice work. Let's slide our hands down under your collarbones and press on up to a seal pose. So that's straightened arms, soften in your glutes, find space in your low back, then slide on down again, come back to your Sphinx pose. Shoulders over your elbows, press into your hands, gaze down your nose, looking forward a little bit. You can stay right here if you want, or slide your hands under your collarbones, press on up to your seal pose. Soften in your glutes, because I know you squeezed them. Lengthen through the hips and let it be. Take it back to a wide-legged child's pose. Knees go wide, hips go back towards your heels, arms reach long to the top of your mat, stretch it out. Breathe in, breathe out. I encountered a person, keep breathing, send your tailbone back, back, back. I encountered a person the other day and I said, oh, you should come to yoga. And he said, I'm not a yoga person. Oh my goodness, everybody should be a yoga person. What is a yoga person anyway? Yoga is stretching. If you don't stretch, you will become immobile, inflexible, and it's just crazy to me to not think that you want to stretch and do your yoga. All right, let's finish here. Let's come to your neutral tabletop. We're going to do a plank now. So you can do this plank. We're going to set a timer for a minute. Lots of ways you can do it. If you're new to the practice, you can lie on your back and send your arms up to the sky, imagining the ceiling were the ground. You could come to your neutral tabletop and then kind of work your knees back, work your arms a little forward, and shift your weight into your arms. And you could stay right here. You could send your legs further back and kind of a little more modified, maybe press into your hands and stay right here. You could come down to your forearms, totally fine if the wrists are a little wiggly. Come down to your forearms, stay on your knees, and hold it. You could tuck your toes towards your shins, all the while keeping your shoulders over your elbows. Press on up, and you can hold here in a dolphin plank. It's all good. I'm going to take a high plank, just an alternative. For a high plank, shoulders are over your wrists, knees are going to be long, and your hips are going to stay lifted as you press into the balls of your feet. So I'm going to take a high plank and we're going to set a 1-minute timer. Let's go. All right, 1-minute timer is not going, but we're going to hold it here. Hold on, there we go. All right, press into your hands, shoulders over your wrists. Take the variation of plank that is right for you today. Lengthen through your spine. Remember how when we were in that pentacle pose, we squeezed our hands, squeezed our toes towards our sole of our foot to just feel tension in the whole body? Here you go again, lots of tension in the whole body. So we're halfway in to this 1-minute plank. But you take the plank for as long as works for you. Fingers are spread wide, lengthen through your spine, press the earth away. You've got it, don't quit, but if you want to take breaks, do that. We've got 15 seconds to go. Stay strong in your plank, because you are strong. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You got 5 seconds to go. Give it all you got. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Come on down, maybe take your wide-legged child's pose, hips back to the heels, breathe. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. I'm gonna come to seated and I'm gonna grab a drink. All right, so plank builds strength. And you thought an all-seated practice would be a breeze. Nope. And the same is true of the restorative practices that we do on Thursdays and Sundays. Not a breeze, but you feel good. And don't you feel good after doing your plank? All right, we did our neck stuff. We did our plank. We're ready to move on to a seated forward fold. So send your legs long on your mat. Toes up to the sky. Arms float up. Lengthen up as you reach high. Exhale. Bring your arms parallel to the earth, reaching your fingers forward. Toes drawn up towards your shins. Hold it here and let your chest go forward. We're not ready to fold in half yet. Let your chest go forward. Reach your fingers a little bit more. How does it feel in your low back? Your toes, draw them more towards your shins. Ooh, how does that feel? Breathe. Take your hands, capture your calves, your ankles, hug your elbows in toward your knees. Now look toward your knees. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, reach. Exhale, bring your chin closer to your knees. Knees, maybe a little bend feels better in the hamstrings. I don't know. Modify to make it work for you. I'm going to work my head towards my knees. Deep breath in. I lengthen up. Deep breath out. My navel goes back toward my belly button, or my belly button, that is my navel. My belly button goes back toward my spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slowly come up, shoulders over your hips. Find your two blocks. Let's take this into a wide-legged forward fold. Knees or legs spread wide. Bring your blocks in between your legs, or no blocks at all, no big deal. You can put your blocks at whatever height you want. You can place your elbows on them. You can place your forearms on them. Just find rest here for a few moments. Rest, rest, rest. Rest is relative. So you're going to rest here. Big stretch in the inner thighs. Maybe you place your forehead on your block at whatever level feels good for you. And just experiment here a little bit. Your legs are spread wide. Maybe you put a bend in your knees. What feels right? The idea is you just want to bring your torso in between your legs. You can have your blocks or no blocks at all. Maybe you just bring your hands on down. Blocks just kind of make it a little more fun, more accessible, and it allows you to relax. The blocks are really special in a restorative practice because you want to just let all of your weight go. And your head is heavy. Your head weighs between 8 and 12 pounds. Let your head rest on your block, or maybe it's your forearms, whatever. Maybe you don't have a block today and you're just bringing your forearms down toward the earth. Breathe in, breathe out. This is your wide-legged forward fold. And you know, it doesn't matter where you are. Maybe today you can't bring your chest down very far. It's all right. Maybe it'll never go down. We all have limitations. Just accept it and move on. No big deal. Be kind and gentle to you. Fold a little bit forward. Breathe in, breathe out. There's your wide-legged forward fold for now. Let's come back into pentacle, and we're going to have a choice. This is where we're going to transition to a few standing poses if you want, but you can do all of these reclined too. So anyway, I'll talk you through. Come on down, take your pentacle pose. Remember that one? Big capital letter X, heels at the bottom of your mat, arms up high. How does this pentacle feel compared to the one where you first started? For me, I'll tell you, my left shoulder always bothers me a little bit in the beginning. I have to take it gradually, moderately, gently, and then by about now, it feels really good. So you're coming to this capital letter X shape. This is your pentacle pose. Hold it here, take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. And play with the shape of your X. Maybe you like snow angeling the arms down. And then release the shoulders away from your ears. Let your fingers reach toward the bottom corners of your mat. Shoulders away from the ears. And then maybe you go back into your capital letter X. Maybe you want to spread your legs wider because you can, because you found greater length and flexibility in that wide-legged forward fold on your blocks. So stay here in your pentacle pose if you want. I'm going to come up to standing and do a couple balancing poses, but the neat thing about these balancing poses is they're ones that you can do reclined here as well. So when I talk us through the standing portion of this, if you are lying down, just imagine yourself as standing, and the ground is like a wall that you're standing up against. So with that in mind, I'm going to come on up to a standing position, and I'm going to do a couple of standing poses, like I said, that you can do reclined as well. So come on up to standing, and let's come on up. There we go. All right, let's do a you will look taller pose, all right? So, okay, and we're gonna say you will look taller, all right. Okay, here we go. You'll get it. Bring your arms into that capital letter Y shape. You can do it on the mat. Remember, you can just bring your legs together, look like the capital letter Y, and think of the first letter of all these words. You will look taller, all right. All right, so press the backs of your hands to the back of the room or into the ground. U, W in the arms. 2 L's forward and backward. T for taller. And the last little addition today, let your arms float down. Bring your arms almost into the shape of a letter A. Palms shining forward. Let your fingers go down, down, down toward the earth. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Focus forward, nice and straight and tall and really good posture. Do it again. Float the arms up. You will look taller. Press the backs of your hands to the back of the room. Bring your arms float down to the shape of a letter A, pressing the fingers toward the earth, standing up nice and tall. I like to close my eyes so I can focus on the muscles up and down my back that I feel so well here. Let's do it one more time. Shoulder mobility. You will strengthen those muscles along your spine. 2 L's forward and back. T for taller. Pulse the hands back. Feels nice. Just nice, tall, strong, good posture. Let the arms float down. All right. And all done. Breathe. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. As you breathe out, soften in the shoulders. Shoulders away from the ears. Don't have shoulders for earrings. Let them rest. Breathe in, breathe out. Tree pose, Vrikasana. Here's what you can do here. Bring your hands to prayer center. Mantra time. Tell yourself your good statement. I'm going to place the weight into one foot. If you're reclined, draw the toes of one leg up toward the shin. Bend the other leg. Open up the other leg to the side of the room or the side of your mat. Place the heel inside the foundational not elbow, what is that? That's your ankle. Yeah, that's the ankle. And bring it up a little higher maybe, or higher still. Just don't place it on your knee unless you're lying down. If you're lying down, bring it to wherever speaks to you, because you're not going to put much lateral pressure on the knee while reclined. All right, so focus. Don't look at me because I might lose my balance. Focus on something that's not moving. Push the foot into the leg, leg into the foot. Hands can be at prayer center, or you can grow your branches. Arms go high, focus upward where the ceiling and the wall meet. You've got to stay focused. Nothing like being in the present moment, like having to balance, right? You got to focus. Bring your hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant that foot down. Other side, root into that leg. Open up the other leg. Stay right here if you want. Maybe staying here with the heel on the ankle and the eyes closed. That's a balance challenge. Maybe that's what you want to take today. I'm not judging you. I don't know. You do what's right for you. But pay attention to what's right for you. I'm going to bring my foot a little bit higher. I'm going to bring my foot higher still. Pushing the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. If you fall out, no big deal, get right back in. You really gotta focus here. Arms lift, branches grow. If you like, sway them. Hands back to a prayer center position. Guide the knee gently to the front of the room and then place the foot down. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Remember Banana Asana that we did on the ground? If you're on the ground, we're going to do that again. It's called Banana Asana on the ground. Standing up, it's got a little different name because it's a little different. It's called a half crescent moon. So I'm going to lift the arms up high to the sky. I'm going to bring my palms together to touch. I'm going to cross one thumb over the other, and I'm going to find length here, just like we did on the ground. Now I'm going to go to the left side. I'm going to let my fingers work to the left side of the room. I'm going to keep both feet planted. All right, remember how we said in your banana asana, keep your hip down and the shoulder down? Kind of the same thing here. Keep your hips equidistant to the front of the room and bring that top shoulder, the right shoulder away from the ear. Lean into this, take that nice bend, hold on here, chin away from the chest. Now maybe you take your left hand, the bottom hand, and grab the top wrist. Give it a little tug. Maybe that feels good. Keep your chin away from your chest, breathe. And then finish, palms touch. Come on back up nice and slowly to the center. Stretch it out in your stick pose, right? Let's take it to the other side. Hips equidistant to the front of the room. Top shoulder is back. Reach through your fingers. Reach, 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 and then the bottom wrist can give the top wrist a little tug. Chin away from the chest. And I'm going to say hi to Olivia, to Tammy, to Stan, to Betty, to Liz, Marietta, Diane, Tyrone, Kelly, Yvette, Rhonda, Renee, Cheryl, Stephanie, Nancy, Elizabeth. Hi, guys. Breathe. Oh my goodness, feels good. Let's finish. Slowly come back to the midline. The slow part's important. Lengthen up. You got it. Exhale, fold forward. Fold forward and let's meet our friends on the mat. So just fold forward, fold your body in half, let your fingers work toward the earth, then bend your knees and come on down. Come on down and do a couple of things while you're here. Grab your eye shade and your towel and bring them up to the top of your mat. Grab your block, a block or two blocks, and your strap. Oh my goodness, all these things. Bring them to the top of the mat. We're going down on our backs. All right, so those of you already on your back, good on you. Let's come on down and draw your legs together and your arms down by your sides. If we're making our way down to the mat from standing, legs can be long or soles of your feet can be on your mat. Bring your hands to prayer center. Think of your strong core, so important. Core, core, core. Lengthen up. Mantra time, I am special, and lean on back. Lean on back. Come all the way down to your mat. Once all the way down, let's do a bridge pose. All right, you got your blocks nearby. That's what I want to have close by. Bend your knees, soles of your feet are on your mat. Send your hips high up to the sky. All right, take your hands, grab your glutes, and push them on up to the sky. Just that little bit of encouragement. Send your hips higher. Push hard into your feet. Your hips and knees are in line. Your knees are over your ankles. Press into, I gotta move my ankles closer. Excuse me. Press into the earth with your feet. Arms down by your sides. Soften in your glutes here and let the power come from your legs. Now, tighten up in your glutes and let the power come from there. Big muscles, you want to activate them. All right, we're going to go into bridge pose on your block. So take a block at whatever height is comfortable for you. Place it at your low back, right at the great divide there. Place it right at your low back and then rest. Rest on the block. This is a restorative bridge pose. Feels nice. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Suck your belly button to your spine. Let's press up off of this block and take two blocks side by side. I'm going to bring them to a stable height. Bring them side by side. You can do this with your eyes closed. You don't really have to look. Bring them to a stable height and then rest your bottom on those blocks. Now send your legs long. With those blocks, you're creating just a nice big surface to rest your bottom on. Send your legs long. I'm going to scoot my blocks down a little bit more. And you want to feel a big stretch in the front of your hips, and your hip flexors. So breathe here, and this is what's called your pontoon pose. How do you like it? Kind of a nice stretch in the front of the hips there. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it go. All right, bend your knees. Pop on back up to a bridge pose as you pull these blocks out. Roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. Think about your spine, one vertebra at a time, keeping your tailbone tucked up. How do you do that? Think of your belly button touching your spine. Bring all of those vertebrae down one by one, like a pearl necklace coming down, one pearl at a time. Once you're all the way down, release your tailbone to the mat. Let's do our supine twist. Left leg long on your mat, left toes drawn towards your shin. Hug your right knee in. You can use that towel under your right knee, or hug underneath the knee with interlaced fingers. Circle your ankle this way and that. Using the left hand, let the right leg cross the midline of the body as you roll onto your left hip. Right hip is now on top of the left hip. Just kind of the opposite of what we do when we do that banana asana. We want to keep the hips down. Now I'm going to tee out my right arm to let me bring my shoulder down. I'm going to look up to the sky, or I'm going to look to the right top corner of my room, or look over the right shoulder. So nice big twist here. Breathe in, breathe out. As you're ready, let the hip come down to the earth. Let your gaze go back up to the sky. Hug your right knee in. Circle the ankle this way and that. Right leg floats down. Once that heel touches, draw the right toes toward the shin. Find length in that leg. Maybe that pontoon pose and that bridge pose help you find length in that leg. Left knee, draw it up towards your chest. Hug the left knee in with your towel or your interlaced fingers. Shoulders are down, ankles circles this way and that. Hug it in, squeeze it in, good and tight. Maybe that's where you stay. I'm going to take my right hand to my left knee. I'm going to guide the left knee across the midline of my body. I'm going to keep my left shoulder down. Right hand is going to encourage this knee down a little or a lot, whatever feels good. Left arm is going to tee out, and I'm going to look to my left. I'd like to stay here. If you want to stay here, stay here. I'm going to press on, bring the left hip down, interlaced fingers, hug the knee in again, circle the ankle this way, circle the ankle that way, send the left leg long on the mat. Find your strap, which I hope is up near your shoulders. All right. If you don't have a strap, use a belt to your bathrobe. All right, let's bend our knees. Let's take the center of this strap underneath the soles of the feet. Send your legs up to the sky. Hold on to the strap like reins of a horse. Elbows hugged in. Breathe. Legs are lifted. Little bend in the knees might feel good. Release the right leg down onto your mat. Plug the right calf in. You know how to do that. Draw your toes towards your shins. Now this left leg that's extended, let it open up. Let it drop open to the pinky edge side of your foot. Bring it toward the earth, then bring it up, and then let the big toe side fall toward the earth. You're going to roll onto your right hip to do that. So the leg is now extended, and you're finding that, that big range of motion stretch, unless you got furniture in the way, to open up that hip. Back and forth, right and left. You take it as far as is right for you. Maybe not very far at all. Maybe today you're just holding it and just moving it and letting it be. But just find you. Find what's right for you. Back and forth. And then when we're ready, we'll switch it out. Lift that right leg. Use your strong core. Lift the right leg up, up, up to meet the left in the strap. Give them just a little tug here together because they like to be together. Send the other leg down. Nice and flat and straight on your mat. Open up to the pinky toe side of that foot. Bring it on up. Let it fall to the opposite side as you roll onto that other hip. So you're creating like a little half circle above your body here, holding on to the strap, keeping your extended foundational leg long, and just finding some mobility in your hips. Such a great pose. And the strap makes it accessible and hopefully comfortable and doable. All right, send the left leg up to meet the right. Give them a little tug. Release your strap, and then let your legs float down. Try to take it slowly. Try to take it with control. You've got it. Bend both knees once the heels touch down. Hug your left knee toward your left armpit and your right knee toward your right armpit. Rock a little bit from side to side for your happy baby pose. So maybe draw circles on the ceiling with your feet or your knees. Bring your hands down inside your calves. Maybe reach for your ankles and keep up with your happy baby here. Maybe reach for your heels. Draw your toes towards your shins. Send one leg high to the sky, then the other. Breathe in your happy baby Ananda Balasana pose. Release your hands, send both legs high to the sky. Let both legs float on down. Float down, take it slowly, whatever feels right for you today as you come into your final Shavasana, best pose. Heels to the edges of your mat, pinky toes fall open. Your eye shade or your towel, cover your eyes to block out the light. Arms down by your sides, shoulders wiggle away from your ears. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Sigh it out, let it go, you did it. Arms are heavy. Forehead is soft. The breath in your throat is soft. Squeeze your hands, your fingers towards your hands. Squeeze your toes toward the sole of your foot, good and tight, and then release. Feels differently than when we began. Maybe that's indicative of having less tension in your body. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Stay here longer if you like by hitting your pause button. Resume whenever you want to come back and conclude your practice. So if it's time to end your practice today, take a deep breath in and start wiggling your fingers and your toes. Take a deep breath out. Let any residual tension completely leave your body. Wiggling fingers and toes, take it up to your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high overhead. Take a big good morning stretch as if it were the first stretch of your day. Stretch, and then bend your knees and your elbows and roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Bend your low arms, bicep, and let that be a pillow for your head. Top shoulder rests, eyes are closed. Savor this breath. It'll never come again. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Be deliberate, be conscious of how you come to a seated position. Use your hands or don't use your hands, but come on up to seated. What is comfortable for you? Maybe crisscross in the legs, maybe legs extended, whatever works, do it. Come to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to prayer center. Press your thumbs slightly into your chest. Go back to your positive comment. Remember the positive comment about yourself. Be deliberate today and tell yourself that comment not only on your mat, but off your mat throughout your day. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Blink your eyes open. You had a stress number in the beginning. What was it? What is it now? I'll guarantee it's lower. Be deliberate about what you do today, but just do. Get out and do. And you know what? You just did. Good on you. See you on your mats tomorrow. Love you guys. Have a great day. Bye. Hello, baby dog. How are you? Good girl. See you later. Good girl. You're a good girl. Congratulations, you did it. 1 hour of yoga. You did it, you succeeded. I hope you're enjoying your yoga. It's doing wonders for your body. It really is. Every single day, come back, try it out, and enjoy it. Tell your friends about our yoga. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody, and we're on Facebook and YouTube. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. But whatever you do, show up, do your yoga, and enjoy your day.